Hello, alright, so SYS 232, going to do our Monday morning lecture here in lieu of being in class. So, alright, so we're doing an internal block diagram. This is the first set of instruction on that for this semester. Where it puts us right now, let's make sure I'm tracking this here. Let's see what. So this is M2-11, so we're module 11 for the System 232 class. Alright, moving on here, so let's see. Hope you all are well. Hope your hummingbird robots are moving along. Alright, so our objectives for this lesson, alright, so we're going to, previous homework assignment, we'll pick that up when we're back together again. We have an extra topic on using documentation, alright, in internal block diagram recap. How to create IBDs. We've got an in-class activity to create BDD and IBDs. So in-class, meaning it will be, you guys will be doing this on your own. We can discuss it in class when we're together again if needed. How to add ports and connectors to IBDs, an in-class activity, create the IBD for a doorbell, and then homework, finish the doorbell. The homework is actually to finish anything that is listed here as in class. So, alright, reading documentation. Alright, so this is a Cameo Cameo support screenshot here. You know, another name for Cameo is No Magic, right? Or Magic Draw. Well, this is a support page on creating item flow. All right, here's another support page for NMDoc, showing internal block diagram. The point of pointing out the documentation here is to show that, you know, the class here, we are introducing you to these tools, and we're going through some usage and getting a little more advanced each time. But we're in the end, we're really just scratching the surface as what's available to be done with Cameo. And so you're going to want to continue to grow your skills, and so you want to be in the habit of using documentation that's available to you, and you have some built in through the help and support feature in Cameo that'll lead you to documents like this right here. So this is the this is a quick reference guide that you can download. They're from OMG. Alright, so we see our internal block diagram. This is our hierarchy of our diagrams. You see the internal block is located in structure architecture. We've spent a fair amount of time lately working in behavior and functions. So let's go a little deep into some structure here. Alright, from module 1 we talked about, we related the name of the block. So the name of the block is the same no matter how you're using it. So you see the block. You see the block in use in a BDD, and you see the block with its properties shown in its compartments. It's the same block because it's got the same name. Alright, and then you got the inside of the block, which is the IBD. Right, so inside the block here, this is a diagram of the electrical power subsystem. An internal block diagram captures the internal structure of a block in terms of parts and references and connections between them. It shows the flow of matter, energy, or information between subsystems or components. can also invoke behavior using the connections. Defines the interfaces that make up the block. A single block can have many IBDs. A single IBD may not show all the interactions between the two specific components. Alright, so I want you just to pause there and notice what's happening here. So we had the block, and let me go back here and show you. Like right here, if you see this IBD on this slide here, the first one is the electrical power subsystem. Notice here on the BDD that shows the breakdown of the subsystems, you'll see there is an electrical power subsystem. So once you go deeper into the system, you need to see how these blocks relate, how their inputs and outputs flow, and the IBD is a way you can do that. Alright, how to create an IBD. So let's see, this is the SUV diagram still. No, this is the quadcopter diagram. Alright, so we actually have there is an actual diagram available in Canvas for this under course materials. So let me see here. I think I got that open here. So I have it open on my screen. I'll show you if I need to, but this does a pretty good job here of, like when you open up the quadcopter diagram, it looks like this. You've got a containment tree with some basic structure. Alright, you select the block on a BDD and then click the IBD button. So what are we? I'm trying to get to where I can do both of these at the same time. So alright, so select the BDD, the block in the BDD, and then we're going to choose the IBD button. Alright, so it brings open this parts properties box when you do that. And the second method would be you can select the block in the containment tree and then right click and select create diagram, and the window will pop up, allow you to select the type of diagram, and then you can choose the internal block diagram, and the same window will pop up with the display parts and property parts and ports and parts box will pop up. And then there's a third way. What if you do not have a decomposed block? Well, you can create an IBD in the desired way. So notice that the window to select parts and ports does not appear. You can create parts via the IBD diagram as well. So notice we dragged a part property over and it was created in the containment tree. So let's see how this flows here. So this one we're using the ground control block, and then when the ground control popped up, This way it didn't, the part and property box was empty, and so we can take the part or property we want and we can add it over and create it. You can drag it over. Alright, small interruption there. My apologies. Alright, so I think we wrapped that up with showing that if you, this third method here, once you creating it this way, you'll end up with a part and property box with nothing in it, but you can drag parts and or properties over and into the box. Alright, so in class you need to create a BDD. You can use your doorbell system, and then you need to decompose a block with at least 4 parts and create an IBD of the BDD block. So that's it's a class activity, but you should do that on your own. Alright, so we got a recap here for the internal block diagram. So the ports represent interfaces on the boundary of a block, so you can see the ports listed here, the little squares on the edges of the block. Full ports they're typed by a block and can alter incoming and outgoing flows, and they can run behaviors. And then proxy ports, they're typed by interface blocks, and they're a window or pass-through into a block. So internal block diagram creation. So you right-click on part of the IBD, select proxy port. Proxy port is created and automatically named P1. So I want you to notice the red T symbol when hovering over. This means the proxy port is not typed. A port may be typed by clicking the T and selecting a list from the interface blocks in your model. The T is now blue instead of red once you type it, once you set a type for it. Keep in mind, everything we're doing here is a review that we've done earlier in the semester. Port can also be typed by dragging an appropriate model element onto the port. In this picture, the interface block is dragged onto the port. The block will highlight blue because we are using the correct type. You will notice there are several different ways to do everything when modeling in Cameo. Like earlier when we were showing the IBD, how to create an IBD, I showed you 3 different ways. Many different ways to do these things. Alright, so moving on. Internal block diagram creation. So next we want to connect 2 ports in an IBD. So you select the port and choose the connector button. Move the cursor to the next port or part. If you select a part, it will ask you if you want to add a port to connect to it. So we're in class activity number 2. So you want to use your doorbell BDD you previously made. You're going to create an IBD. You're going to create ports. You're going to connect the parts. You're going to add the wireless receiver and wireless chime unit. And you're going to try adding flows and conveyed items. So for homework, I want you to finish this doorbell internal block. The submission will be screenshots of the full containment tree, a screenshot of your internal block diagram, and the model. So you got 3 files there. We're going to continue the IBD discussion with the IBD 2 lecture. We'll review homework in class as needed. All right, this video is recorded. I would suggest if you missed a piece of it or had questions, I would go back and run through it again. But if you got any questions, don't hesitate to reach out via email or Canvas message. Would probably be the best way to get it on my radar. All right, thanks.